In 40 AD, Iron Age Britain was much the same as it had been for hundreds of years. The Celts lived in small farming villages, ruled by kings, queens, and chieftains, and they defended their land with powerful warriors. They worshipped their gods, built hill forts, and lived in roundhouses. However, everything began to change in 43 AD, when the Roman Emperor Claudius decided to invade Britain. The Romans had already conquered much of Europe and saw Britain as a valuable land full of resources, like metals, that could make their empire even stronger. The Roman invasion of Britain was a turning point in history. Claudius sent a large army with well-trained soldiers and advanced military equipment across the sea to Britain. The Roman army was powerful and organized, and the Britons, though brave and fierce, were no match for the Romans' tactics and technology. By 44 AD, many parts of southern Britain were under Roman control, and life in Britain was starting to change. Not all the Celts accepted Roman rule. One of the most famous leaders who resisted the Romans was Queen Boudicca of the Iceni tribe. Boudicca was a fearless warrior queen who led her people in a rebellion against the Romans in 60 AD. She was furious that the Romans had taken control of her land and mistreated her people. Boudicca gathered an army of warriors and attacked Roman settlements, burning cities like Colchester and London. For a time, it seemed like the Celts might drive the Romans out, but the Roman army eventually defeated Boudicca's forces in a fierce battle. Even though Boudicca's rebellion was unsuccessful, she became a symbol of bravery and resistance. The battles between the Celts and Romans were intense, but the Romans slowly took control of more and more of Britain. Once they had conquered the land, the Romans began to make changes. They built roads, towns, and forts, introducing new ways of life to the Britons. Roman roads were straight and well built, making it easier for people to travel and trade. The Romans also brought new skills and technologies, such as stone buildings, baths, and central heating systems, which were very different from the simple roundhouses of the Celts. The Romans improved farming techniques, introducing new crops and tools, which helped make farming more efficient. They also introduced new laws, which were enforced by Roman officials, and created a more structured society. For many Britons, life under Roman rule meant adopting new customs and learning to live alongside Roman soldiers and settlers. However, some parts of Britain, especially in the north, continued to resist Roman control for many years. The Roman invasion changed Britain forever. By the time the Romans left Britain in the 5th century, the land was no longer the same Iron Age society it had been before. The Romans had brought new ideas, technology, and ways of life, shaping the future of Britain for centuries to come. Despite the changes, the stories of people like Boudicca and the brave Celtic warriors remain an important part of Britain's history.